Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. It is actually my least favorite day of the year. It is. That's a fact. It happens every 2 and 4 years. My least favorite day of the year. And the reason why is because this is no exaggeration. I was tired of the brainwashing and the propaganda in high school. So I don't buy it. But I do got one promise. I do have one promise for both red team and blue team. I know right now, today, you're all locked in this battle, right? To do what's right for the nation, right? I want to make something very clear. Either way, whichever one of you wins, the only thing you'll get for pushing your agenda on me is a size 11 boot up your ass. Plain and simple. That is why it is so frustrating to me. Because it is literally two cultish mobs of people fighting over who gets to control you. I'm not playing. That, to me, that's the stupidest game somebody can... Oh, will you please? I can't take care of myself. I can't be responsible for myself. Will you please take care of me? I'm sorry, I refuse. I refuse. If we had leaders to vote for, it might be different, but we don't. Let me explain something to you. A leader of a free nation, let me make this clear, a leader of a free nation, we are not a free nation, quit the propaganda and bullshit. The leader of a free nation will not be telling you what they are going to do, they will be asking you what you want done. So by asking me to vote for one of these tin-pot dictators, whichever position they happen to be running for, no. Not going to happen. I don't have a damn good thing to say about elections. I don't. I voted one time in my life. I went back on my promise because I had promised myself I'd never vote. I went back on my promise. I voted. And I've told this story before. Within 30 days, within 1 month of them taking office, I was screaming bloody murder. I took responsibility for my mistake. And I'll never vote again. I will never, ever, ever vote again. You know, the world is so upside down and backwards right now. People don't know what leadership is. People don't know what strength is. People don't... Because they've had Hollywood or entertainment of one form or another mold their minds into whatever the hell you call this. They call it society. They call it civilization. And all I know is I recognized it early on, and I wanted out of her my people. And although I haven't been a man of God my entire life, I had always practiced my coming out of her, always, ever since I was a teen. How many teens do you know that would stand up to tons of peer pressure and still do what they felt was right? I don't know many. But I can guarantee you almost every weekend my so-called buddies were calling me a pussy and everything else because I wasn't getting drunk with them. No. I can read. I'm not interested in alcohol. Got a joint? I'll smoke weed. No thanks on the alcohol. I can read. I was an outcast at a very young age. That actually was a big reason that I was such a big outcast in high school, because I didn't drink. Once in a great while I might have a beer or two, but I hardly drank. And of course I've got my Mad Dog 2020 stories and all of that, you know. I mean, come on, who doesn't? But I wasn't a drinker and never was. It was a very, very rare occasion, maybe 2-3 times a year. And it's even less than that now. I don't have to do what a big group of others are doing in order to feel comfortable with myself. Never have needed that. As messed up and antisocial as my childhood was, I'm appreciative of that. You know, during my younger years, when, a social life would have been important, I hated my dad for the way that he raised me. But as every year ticks on and ticks by, I'm ever more grateful. And I'm not like the idiots out there. I'm not calling everybody an idiot. I'm just saying it's a fact. There are a lot of damn idiots out there. They're the ones that can't hold an intelligible conversation about anything meaningful. Right? Everything's got to be either diverted to something related to television or sports. But nothing tangible, nothing with any meat. And see, that's why I don't have a social life today, because who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to talk to? I refuse to listen about that damn TV. I refuse to listen about sports. I refuse to listen to any of that nonsense. I don't believe that life should be all work and no play. It may seem like that, but no, that's not what it is. I absolutely believe in play. But when you play, why don't you accomplish something? I mean, can't you enjoy yourself and accomplish something useful at the same time? I can. In fact, it's hard for me to really enjoy anything that I don't gain anything from. And then when I say that, I don't mean that as in a materialistic or, a lot of times I just gain learning, education, knowledge. The most important gift that I could have. But that's why I do it. I put all that time into learning things, into learning new skills and all of that, so I can do for myself and just so I know how to do. I've always thought that it's incredibly important to be an asset, not a liability. And the less and less you know and the less and less you can do, the more and more on the liability list someone fits. The more somebody can do, the less on that liability. Now, and that's not, there could be outstanding issues, you know what I mean? Could be a wacko like me. No, no, seriously, you could have somebody that could have some personality disorders or something like that, and it doesn't matter how good of a farmer they are. They won't leave the pigs alone, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. You're going to have situations like that. But it's more important to have skills than what it is to know who hit the most home runs. It's going to be more important to be able to fix things, repair things, make things happen than what it is to remember all those awesome trivia answers. You know what I mean? And I love that kind of stuff. I love doing that stuff, but it's got its time and place, and that's not my ass sitting on a couch watching it on TV. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, well, then break out the damn game and do it with your family. Turn off the TV. Completely different things happening from you watching something on a screen and you actively doing that very thing. Very much different as far as brain activity. If you saw it lit up on a screen, it would blow your mind. When you watch TV, man, that's what you need to do. If you want to know how badly TV is damaging you, go look for video of people that had their, whatever you want to call it, brain waves, brain scan, while they're watching TV. Versus, I don't know, like while they're putting together a puzzle. Okay, you can find this stuff out there. It's not hard to find. I know, I did it. It will blow your mind at the difference in brain activity. Further research has even proven that the more active you keep that brain, all the different lobes of your brain, the more active, the less likely you are going to fall to things like dementia and even Parkinson's. Even Parkinson's. You lessen the chance of it by keeping your brain mentally active. You cannot watch something on TV and get your brain that mentally active. You can't. It doesn't work that way. I know I just went out in right field with a subject, but there was a reason that came out, and I think it's important. If you're not somebody that has been active with your mental processes, please change that habit immediately, because you're going to need that. You're going to need that. Okay, so if you take a brain that's conditioned to not have a whole lot of activity into it, and then all of a sudden you throw a bunch of stimulus at it, not just any stimulus, but unfamiliar stimulus, there's a big difference, and that brain just turns to fuzz. Okay, and now, in all that fuzz, I'm trying to explain it in a way that's a little easier to grasp. And all that fuzz, you have to find the right pieces of information and put them together and then perform that task with all that fuzz and static in the way. That fuzz and static is only there because your brain is not used to working like that. And so your brain is actually going into kind of a defense mode in and of itself, trying to hurry up and make connections to figure this out. And it starts just rapidly firing and things like that. They cause things like anxiety, all kinds of issues. So you want to get that brain active as possible. I joke about how I can't type and I can't type and talk, I can't type and listen, I can't type and do anything at the same time, and I joke about it. But the thing is, a lot of people I don't think realize the funny part of it to me, right? It may sound funny for one reason to you, but it sounds funny to me because there's not a whole hell of a lot of things that I can't multitask doing. Typing just happens to be one of those things. So that's why I think it's funny, because it's my Achilles heel, if you will. That's one thing I can't do in multitask. I don't know. And like I said, I don't know where all that came from. I'm assuming someone needs to hear that. I let the father drive the car. I'm just here. Other than that, do I have any updates? I didn't get out and do any beta testing today because I pushed out. It was kind of cold. I will be out tomorrow. No, it's like in the 60s, and I ain't about all that. Tomorrow's going to be a little up closer to the 70 range, and I can hang there. So, going to be out doing that. Today, I really didn't get anything useful accomplished today. Here just gave you a big old lecture about doing useful things. Okay, here's what I did today. Now I can bear the whipping I have coming, the lashings. So after giving you that lecture, I spent a considerable amount of time today learning how to fly the Osprey in the flight simulator. But there is a but here, and I'm not looking just to justify this. I don't need to justify it. I spend very little me time, and that's about the only way I spend me time is the flight simulator. So literally, if I grab an hour of flight simulator time, it's a pretty rare event, really. And that's maybe about all I had combined, hour and a half today. But I did succeed in my task, my goal, and I know how to fly the Osprey. It's tricky. It is very, very tricky. I'll have to take you guys live on an Osprey flight. It's a cool bird. I'm waiting though because we got an update coming out in 3 days, and it's going to have the introduction of rotorcraft helicopters into the simulator. Up till now, in order to simulate a helicopter, they had to do some cheesy things in the simulator in order to get it to work, kind of work. So it's been done incorrectly. To my knowledge, when the update comes out in 3 days, that is when the coding is going to be put in for the proper way to do rotorcraft. And I'm hoping real shortly after that, within a week or two, they're going to have all these aircraft like the Osprey and the F-35 and all the aircraft that does VTOL and STOL. Hopefully they have them updated and taken care of. So I'm hoping. I know you guys really care about that. Not a lot of things I'm passionate about. Not a lot of things I spend time doing just to do for the enjoyment. But flying is one of them. And since, I'm a little short this week in order to buy an Osprey of my own to park out there, I'll settle for the simulator. So, but Biden, I want my damn F-15, damn it. Jeez. I don't care about no damn supply chain. Said I need an F-15, I want my F-15. See where I vote next time. Well, that's right. I won't be. So, speaking of all that stupidity and nonsense, let's bring you over to the stupidity and nonsense board, and I'm going to refresh it, right? I'm going to call this the erection map, right? The erection map. So, this is where we are as of 8:23 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me refresh the erection map. All right. Still the same. 39 Democrats, 40 GOP. That's the Senate. That's U.S. Senate. Now, this has been earlier. I had saw that the GOP was up, and then I saw that they were down, and now they're up by one. So, I'm not surprised. Isn't it the damnedest thing? all the elections that can happen. Look. Let's go over. Look. Right here. All these. Look at these. Isn't it amazing how they can damn near split it down the middle? Isn't that just amazing? Look at that. I mean, here's one, 77.5%. What, was the other person dead or something? Same thing here. But the majority of them, large majority of them are, in the 50% range, right? I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. I don't believe it, and therefore I am not going to participate in it. Come on. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Come on. Really? You're really going to have that many people that's going to run that neck and neck? Insane. Anyway, U.S. House looking at 42 Democrats, 74 GOP. And governors, you're looking at 17 GOP and 10 Democrat. Unfortunately, the state of Illinois, big old Pudgy Pritzker. Nah, I can't say. I'll get a strike or something. But, I ain't stupid. Do you know how much of Illinois is red? I mean, look at this. It showed it for a second. Let me find it. How do I get that back? Show all states. Here we go. 59.5% voted for Pudger. So, I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. If you know anything about Illinois, okay, you know that Illinois is majority red. I mean, it is almost all red. And in fact, the only freaking godforsaken county in our area that isn't red is these right there. And, yeah. Anyway, they're the only blue county in our area. Now, we are in the county right above them scumbags. And I'm not saying that because they're Democrat. I'm saying that because I know what towns and cities are in that county. Anyway, here we're in Madison County, and we're probably one of the reddest counties. Not that I'm a political person, but we're probably the reddest county in the state of Illinois. But I don't buy it. I'm sorry, to expect me to keep continuing to believe a nonsense bullshit lie is disrespectful to me. I would be disrespecting you if I encouraged you to believe the big bullshit lie. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lie for myself. I'm not going to lie for anybody else. Sorry. Father's more important to me. That's what matters to me, is the father. I give a shit less about anything else. I really don't. I'm ready anytime he wants to bring me home. But until that day comes, I'm going to fight for him. And each and every day, I am going to fight harder and I am going to fight louder. Until I take my last breath and go home to him. Now, I didn't hear anything in there about some other idol that I'm supposed to be worshiping. Imagine that. I mean, we open that because we'll recheck it before. I'll try to remember to recheck it before we sign off. It gets me. I told you this is my least favorite day of the year. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I despise election day. There are far too many people in this country that are suffering that don't have time for people's little politic bullshit games. Oh, we almost were able to help people by all that damn other team. Huh, we'll try again. Bullshit. Us, American people, get up off our asses and make it happen. Plain and simple. Stand the fuck up, go the fuck out the door, and make them fucking listen. How hard is it to understand the damn Declaration of Independence? I guess real hard when you've still got too much to lose, and the hell with anybody else. My least favorite day of the year. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Let me get with the... Yeah. Because it is. It sets me off. It really sets me off. I've got a big issue with stupid. Big issue with stupid. I have no patience for it. Does it show? Nah, it doesn't show. Let's see. So this is what's going on. What I kind of went with the headline from. There is a lot of rattling going on dealing with China at this time. If you were to ask me how concerned I am, honestly, today's the wrong day to ask me. The wrong day to ask me. Honestly, I'm not. I don't see a reason to be immediately alarmed. I'm not gonna say that they're not a threat, because they damn well are a threat. But I don't think they have any immediate intentions. You know, it's been talked about many times about how people don't quite feel that Putin would have done what he did if someone else would be in the lead, in the United States. And for one, I'm still not buying that there actually is a true rift between these nations. The more and more every day, the less and less I believe it. But let's play their game and say there is. If everything was how they want us to see it, then China and Russia have cause to be alarmed because they can't rely on their knowledge of the man that's hold the office of the presidency, because he's a senile whack job. Now, I don't know about you, but where I'm from, senile whack jobs are typically unpredictable. And you would rather deal with somebody like Kim Jong-un than you would somebody that's senile and a whack job. Now, I honestly don't believe that there's a big rift between these nations. I think they're working together. if it's not obvious enough at this point, I don't know what to say. But when they could walk in unison, lock, stock, and barrel when it came to COVID-19, and now when it comes to energy shortages and everything else, come on now. And when we have a government that says it despises everything it can about communism in nations like China, well, they sure are in the hell beat feeding to be just like them and putting in the same policies and doing the same things. I don't care if it's red team or blue team, they are both actively doing this. You can't even get an athlete or an entertainer to speak out against China. Don't you find that a little bit alarming? Doesn't that make you ask some questions? I'm telling you, what's really going on and what they're telling us are two totally different things. Don't fall for it. Keep getting prepared. Forget all this other stupid nonsense and bullshit. It doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. They don't have room for who you vote for in their plans. Anyway, Taiwan could be invaded, says the president. I'm just going to kind of run through these. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen, and I'm sure I said that wrong, told The Atlantic on Monday that there is a genuine threat of a Chinese invasion. China has insisted that it will strive to reintegrate Taiwan by peaceful means, but should conflict break out, Tsai will be looking to the West for help. In an article penned by Ben Rhodes, Barack Obama's speechwriter and Deputy National Security Advisor, Tsai said that we need to get ourselves ready for a potential Chinese invasion. It's real that this thing could happen to us, she continued, adding there is a genuine threat out there. It's not hype. Well, if there was a genuine threat, then why are we continuing to send diplomats there to piss them off? I mean, come on. If Trump would have did that, not that I'm a fan of his, but people would have been calling him racist for it. Oh, you racist? You picking on them Asian people? It's insanity. It really is that stupid. You just got to take the emotion out of it. And you just got to look at what is happening. The actions, not the feelings. China's Xi sends message to military. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called on the country's military to make sure it's ready to respond to security threats arising from a new era in global turbulence. The People's Liberation Army must train harder to be ready for a fight, he said. The world is currently undergoing changes unseen in a century which increase instability and uncertainty, as well as affecting national security, the Chinese president warned on Tuesday as quoted by the national media. The entire military must implement the Communist Party's idea of strengthening the army in the new era by focusing its energy on improving its war-fighting skills and capabilities, he said. The PLA must resolutely defend national sovereignty, security, and development interests, he added. Ain't nothing different than what he's done the other 3-4 times in the past year. So don't let this concern you too much. They have been consistently telling the PLA to get ready for a fight. That's been going on since before COVID. So, I wouldn't sweat that too much. However, they aren't playing around. They have the capability. And that's something that we need to keep in mind. China revealed its latest anti-ship hypersonic missile, a version of the YJ-21, to the public for the first time at an air show on Tuesday, the South China Morning Post reported. Amid increased tension with the U.S. over Taiwan, the revelation of the missile is being seen as a message to Washington. Two missiles bearing the designation 2PZD-21 were seen under the wings of a Xi'an H-6K strategic bomber at the opening of Air Show China in the coastal city of Zhuhai. The Hong Kong-based newspaper reported. The YJ-21 was previously seen on video being test-fired from a People's Liberation Army Navy destroyer in April, as the USS Abraham Lincoln took part in joint drills with Japan near the Korean Peninsula. Other media reports have suggested that the missiles spotted several days earlier are in fact variants of the CM-401, previously known as truck or ship-launched hypersonic missiles with a shorter range of 300 kilometers. With the air show taking place after China and Taiwan held competing military exercises following the visit of U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taipei in August, showcasing the missile as an attempt at warning the U.S. to not intervene in Beijing's plan to take Taiwan back by force, as none of the U.S. sea-based air defense systems are able to intercept the hypersonic missile, the defense analyst Andre Chang told the paper. And that's kind of another reason why I feel so strongly that these nations are working together. Because what strategy is it to, at your supposed enemy's most weakest point, why would you not strike them at your most strongest point? That doesn't make sense to me. We have nothing that can defend against their hypersonic weapons. Nothing. Seems like it would be the awfully perfect time to me. And all this time has went by, and all they're doing is trading insults back and forth. I don't know. Ukraine asked for new anti-drone weapons, says ABC. The government in Kiev has requested from the U.S. a number of C-RAM minigun air defense systems to counter Russian strikes by Iranian-designed drones, according to a letter signed by the chairman of the Ukrainian parliament, Russian Stefanchuk, and obtained by ABC News. Yeah, I mean, hey, I could use 2 or 3 of those bad boys. Park them right over there next to the Osprey, right? Don't forget the F-15 in the neighbor's yard. I ain't got, room for all that. So just put the F-15 over there. The Osprey can go right back there. And you just park those right beside the Osprey. That'll work. Gotta find a place for the F-22, though. I got one of those ordered, too. U.S. and Russia to hold nuclear talks, says State Department. American and Russian diplomats will meet to discuss the New START nuclear arms reduction treaty in the near future, U.S. State Department spokesman Ned Price told reporters on Tuesday. Earlier, Bloomberg and Kommersant cited sources to report that a meeting of the bilateral consultative commission may soon be held in Egypt. We have agreed that the BCC will meet in the near future under the terms of the New START Treaty. The work of the BCC is confidential, but we do hope for a constructive session, Price said at a press briefing. Confidential. So that means that the citizens of the respected nations are not allowed to know the, nuclear arms agreements that the nations are making amongst themselves. Yeah. Millions of people went out today to approve this bullshit. Blows my mind. I'm sorry, if you cashed that ticket, you approved it. Can't go back on that. White House privately asked U.S. banks to work with Russia, said Bloomberg. Imagine that. Oh, by the way, we never did stop getting oil from them. That never stopped. The Biden administration is privately urging leading U.S. banks like J.P. Morgan Chase and Citigroup to continue doing business with strategic Russian firms despite sanctions imposed on Moscow over the conflict in Ukraine. People familiar with the issue told Bloomberg. You know why, right? The truth. I don't know what this is going to say. But we're losing our asses. Because now all of this trade is being conducted around the dollar. So the dollar is getting no benefit from a whole lot of trade that's happening in the East. The only country that all these sanctions and all this nonsense has hurt, well, not the only country, but the worst country it's hurt is its own, us. Now, you could argue that UK and other places have it much worse than we do, and you would be correct. But at some point, they have to take accountability for being involved themselves, do they not? I do believe many nations over in them parts have said no, but hell no. They could have too. In fact, if everybody would have said not no, but hell no from the start, the world probably wouldn't be in this shape right now. I honestly think that the people that lived in those regions of Ukraine want to be with Russia. The same as the people in Crimea that wanted to be with Russia. So who are we to step in between that and say, well, no, you can't have what you want because we want this for you? That's literally what's happening. It's insane. Germany faces sharp drop in real income, and I would say probably most countries on the planet are facing this. I don't think this is just an issue in Germany. That says the German economy is expected to lose billions of euros by the end of 2023 due to skyrocketing energy prices, the IFO Center for Macroeconomics said in a report published on Tuesday. According to the forecast, real income loss will reach 110 billion euros, or $110 billion. Same again? That doesn't make sense. during the 2021-2023 period, which equals 3% of Germany's annual economic output. The only time this figure was higher was during the second oil crisis of 1979 to 1981, when the loss of economic output was 4%, said Timo Wallerschmeicher, senior economist at IFO. Yeah, I did my best there. It's going to be rough, folks, and that's if all hell doesn't break loose. I mean, best case scenario, it's going to be rough. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you're doing it. If you're getting ready, if you're prepping. If you're not, start. And I mean that. Even if you're just now getting into prepping, don't be overwhelmed because you don't have stacks and stacks. Just get started. Nobody can tell you how much time we do or do not have. Don't let things overwhelm you. Just get started. Just keep moving forward. Anyway, we'll refresh this nonsense and see what's up. Yep, same here. U.S. House. I don't remember what it was. And there you go. I don't remember what they were. I don't, I'm not foolish. Okay? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But, whatever. Alright, let's do some headlines, run out the back door, and be done with the day. Let's see. Trump teases very big announcement. Yank, yank. I wished he wouldn't run. I really do. I wished he wouldn't run. Because he's got nothing good to offer this nation. Sorry, he doesn't. And if he runs, I think he's going to slam dunk it. I think he's going to get it no contest. And it ain't going to be a good thing. But, hey, he's that guy that was on TV, yeah, that was in charge, said, "You're fired, I'll lock that." And then his tweets, you see those tweets? That's the smartest person we have in the nation. I think we need to put him in charge. I don't get it. I don't. I cannot on my worst day be that dumb. I'm sorry. And if that's insulting to some people on Red Team, I don't give a fuck. Do you realize I'm done with the game? And every 2 and 4 years, a continuation of this game, the deeper and deeper and deeper your fellow countrymen and women are sinking while you're too busy trying to just hold on to what little piece you have. And then telling people they don't have a right to complain if they don't go cast that ticket. I dare somebody to tell me that in my face. Please, somebody, please, please, I'm begging. Somebody, toe to toe, tell me that. Please. I'm begging. Anyway. Japan devises hypersonic plan, says media. Goldman projects Chinese stock market rally. French beauty retailer returning to Russia, says official. North Korea denies sending arms to Russia. Serbia will benefit from Turkish gas hub, says official. U.S. national dies in Ukraine, says media. White House privately asked U.S. bank to... Oh, I've covered that. Macron forgets himself in chat with Venezuela's Maduro. Price of Australia's scrapped submarine deal revealed. Top White House official comments on reported talks with Moscow. Russian oil exports surging, says Bloomberg. Ukrainian terrorist plot foiled, says Moscow. Russian envoy hails Pope's mediation role. U.S. midterm elections begin amid economic anxiety with Ukraine crisis. U.S. urges India to get oil from Russia at lower price. China pulls top EU official's video address, says Reuters. EU sucking gas away from poorer countries, says an analyst. Turkey makes ruble payments for gas, says minister. EU country names prime concern for citizens. Snowden reveals most important video of the year. U.S. state will count potentially fake ballots. Let's see. XPM links low birth rates to women drinking. I think a lot of it has to do with men tired of the bullshit. I think. Ever been to family court? Nah. That's probably a good reason why. Russia not in talks with U.S. over Ukraine, says senior diplomat. I missed that one. Zelensky sets out conditions for talks with Moscow. Spanish Twitter user jailed in landmark case. Russian oil advantageous for India, says foreign minister. UK schools face perfect storm, says the union. Moscow suggests how many countries want to join BRICS. UK rolling back fight against slavery, says charity. I don't know. A charity, I guess. Kiev comments on Zelensky's G20 participation. Protesters block Pakistan's capital. Princess abandons royal duties over relationship with shaman. And I read that article because I couldn't resist that one. I think I read it all. Maybe not, but I read quite a bit of it anyway. And, no, I did read it all. And because I was thinking, okay, well, I don't take anything for the surface. I want to know deeper, and I want to know different sides to things. Well, it turns out that this dude is like some wannabe shaman for people in Hollywood, and he's actually, I guess, built his name with his nonsense, and that's what this chick's wanting to marry. At first, I thought, oh well, this is bullshit, because I thought, well, maybe this is because of his skin color. I thought about that, and that's one of the big reasons I read the article, to be honest. And no, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's his gig, but if you want to sell your soul for bullshit like that, go right ahead. Anywho, new discovery in Italy could rewrite history, if I can. I'm not racist. I didn't say rewrite. We need to rewrite history. Okay, I'm going to get canceled now. Germany faces sharp drop in... Oh, I covered that article. China flaunts new... Cover that article. And that one. Pelosi reveals what could force her into retirement. Not getting reelected? Oh, yeah, that's right. That'll never happen. Somehow it's amazing. EU report accuses 4 member states of abusing spyware. Well, you show me a nation, and I'll show you a nation that's abused spyware. Russia to raise monument to British spies, says media. 2 major U.S. counties report voting machine problems. And you probably heard that a half a dozen times. Republicans score first win in U.S. midterms. U.S. says cannot confirm Kiev's claims on Iranian missiles. Zelensky makes U.S. midterms plea. Yeah, you should listen to a Nazi dictator on how to vote. Trump issues urgent call to U.S. voters as polls begin to close. And that's it. Let's check the election map once before we leave. Looks like we're still in the same for the Senate. I don't know if either one's picked up any since we last checked the House or not. I don't think the GOP has. I don't know if Dems have or not. I'm pretty sure that's the same as it was the last time we checked as well. So, but you know what? You want to know something a hell of a lot more productive than watching this? Go to the bathroom. No, I'm not going to tell you that, because then that would be committing a sin. But nonetheless, you'll be accomplishing more. That part is true. Just don't do it because you'll have issues with him. So, not encouraging that. Just saying. Just saying. It would get more done. Anyway, I am literally gonna run out the door because I hate today and I just want it to be tomorrow so all the stupid can go back to sleep for another year. With that, I hope you all have a good night. God willing, we'll be here tomorrow. And if it's not His will, thank you. But, as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. Shalom.